Welcome class back to Chapter 5, Working with Links and Navigation. This is Lesson 3 video, Create, Modify, and Copy a Menu Bar. So to make your website more visually appealing, you can add special effects. You can create a menu bar with rollover images rather than with plain text links by selecting the placeholder text for each button and typing in replacement names to use for each of your links called items. Once your navigation elements are in place, use CSS styles to modify both the navigation bar code and the unordered list items code. You can add special effects for your menu bar items by changing their characteristics for each item's state. And state is the condition of the item or the menu item relative to the mouse pointer. So hover, visited, active, those are our states. You can also create special effects for web page links such as plain text links, links created as list items, and links created with images. So here is a menu, About Us, Gardens, and so on. And then here are images that are used for links as well. A mega menu is a type of menu that uses submenus to group related pages under a main menu system. So example of that is bismarckstate.edu, where you have a drop-down menu and then you'll go off into another menu system. This is a way to provide the hierarchy of links because, like for example, BSC has a lot of information that needs to be presented to their visitors. So it's a way to organize and yet conserve space on the page by not making all the links available at one time. So to insert a menu bar, we're going to use Insert Navigation command in our HTML category in the Insert panel. Dreamweaver will add the menu bar to our page and the JavaScript code to do so. In the code you will see nav tags, which clearly indicate to our screen readers for accessibility that this is a navigational element and it's a semantic markup that helps provide that accessibility. After you create and test your menu bar, you can save time by copying and pasting it from other pages to your site, in your site. Make sure you place your navigation bar in the same position on each page for consistency. If you want your menu bar to display a different number of menu items and submenus, you can add new ones and delete ones you do not need. So 18 through 25, so this is our longest example section. And so we're going to take our time going through this. And so I want to make this very structured so that you know how to apply it in Bloom's, TripSmart, and in Coffee Shop. So 518 is where we're going to start. So change to code view. I'm actually going to use split view. Place the insertion point in front of the heading 1 tag before the page heading, the CSPA services, and then return to design view. So it's very important that when you read the directions, if it tells you to return to design view, you need to go ahead and do that, okay? So here, we're going to use the CSPA services. I'm going to click out here, and then I'm going to click back up here. Well, actually, that's not going to work. I'm just going to click and maybe click on design view. I think that's what they're telling us to do. Maybe now if I go back to split view, I'm good. Okay, so design view and split view, and so you can see both of those. Okay, then we're going to insert a navigation, and this is a modification here. When this class text box comes up, remember it looks different than this one, we're going to prefix it with fluid. Okay, and that is in your assignment directions here as well. Okay, so 518 number 3, when entering the class, enter fluid space menu bar. There's no periods in there. Okay, so you're going to want to refer to these modifications for the rest of your exercises as well. So insert, HTML category, navigation, fluid, menu, underscore bar. Now I have a nav element. It's outside of the header 1, and it says content for class fluid menu bar goes here. So be careful not to click down in here because you want to be able to continue to type up here in design view. So now we're going to enter in, actually create an unordered list through our properties inspector. So we'll do that, and now I have an unordered list, and then I'm going to start typing. I'm going to start typing home. When I hit enter, it creates a new list item. So the next one is, I'm going to flip the page here, about us, Sand Crab Cafe, Spa, Sea Spa, and activities. Okay, now we're going to set up each one of these as a hyperlink, and we're going to do that internally. So I'm going to get my files panel back, and I'm going to use point to file, and this one's going to link to index, about us, to about us, Sand Crab Cafe, to cafe, move this down a little bit. Okay, so now we've set up our menu system. So when we review the code down here, it's nav to nav, unordered lists, and each one of our menu items is in a separate LI. So if it's not like this, just make it like this, okay? So go into code view and actually maybe make corrections if you need to, especially if it says LI and then it has all of the links, and so you've only got one LI. You want to make sure that you have the 5 that are listed here. And that is just a mistake of not being in design view when you were typing home, about us, Sand Crab Cafe, and so on. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a CSS, some CSS to format our menu bar, because this doesn't look very good, right? We want it to be horizontal, we want the underlining to be removed, and so on. So using the CSS Designers panel, which I thought I had open, but must have accidentally closed it, we'll go to SU Styles and Global. So I'm on page 21 here. So this is where I'm at. So we're going to add one for ULLIA. So before we do that, you can click in here within the list itself, and then go to the CSS Designers panel, and then click on, and actually I think if I do it now, maybe it'll show up. Yep. So if I've got my cursor in there, it'll automatically fill ULLIA. If it doesn't, just type UL space LI space A. Go ahead and hit enter, and now I'm going to set up my styling, which is a width of 100% and text decoration of none. So with 100%, what that's going to do is fill the parent. Okay, so the parent element for this. And then text decoration, none. So that's going to be removing the hyperlink. At this point, you can't see the benefits of the with 100%. Okay, you can see the removing of the underlining, but you'll see the with here soon. Okay, so those are my 2 styles for ULLIA. Now we're going to add in another style, and it's going to be for LI, but we are going to prefix it with menu bar. So let's see here, what page are we on? We are on page 22. I don't have that in there. I will add that in here. So I will add in that step to make sure that you understand that one. Okay, so back here what you're going to do is you're going to create a new selector, and instead of typing just LI as number 4 instructs, we're going to prefix it with menu bar. So what that's going to do, it's going to look for the class of menu bar and then look for the LIs within menu bar. If we just had LI and we had another list item on the page, it would affect that as well. And we only want it to affect just the list items that are in the menu. That's why I'm having you prefix it with menu bar. Okay, so this one is display of inline, and I want you to watch what happens to the menu when we apply this. So this is going to be in layout, and we're going to change this to inline. Okay, so now I've got a horizontal menu bar. Okay, it's not spaced very well, but we'll go ahead and take care of that. Now, if I had just used LI here, it would have done that to any other list item that I have on this page. Okay, and I'm not sure if I have any. Nope, this page does not have any. Okay, but it's in the style sheet, so any other pages within the website that had just a list would have been, it would have gone horizontal when we still want it to be vertical, and perhaps bulleted, right? Okay, so number 5, I actually have that on the assignments page here. Create a new global style called menu bar. So it's a class. This style will then be applied to the class that was applied back in number 3 and in number 4. So let's go ahead and create that. So global menu bar. And this one we're going to do text align of center. So coming to our text category and then going to center. So now we have our menu centered. Now we're going to add a background color to menu bar, and we're going to use our eyedropper to do so. So coming to the background category, we'll click on background, and we're going to use the eyedropper tool to select a blue from the banner. And then I'll hit enter. And then that is the background color of my menu. You can go ahead and reselect if it's not a blue that you like. Notice there's a little bit of white space on each side, and so we're going to fix that soon here. Okay, so coming back to ULLI selector, we are going to add in some padding, so creating some spacing in between our menu items. Coming to our padding, we're going to add in a % of 1. And remember, this is on the smartphone, so we don't want a lot of padding, but we want just a little bit of space. Okay, so 1%. We don't want it on the top and the bottom, so that's why I didn't click on the link. Okay, so now we're going to adjust so that we get rid of that white space. We are going to come to intro paragraph. Okay, an intro paragraph is set at 97%. Why intro paragraph? Because intro paragraph is the class that is enclosing our navigation. So that's why we're working with the width of intro paragraph. So I'll come back here, scroll up, and change this to 100%. Now, you will most likely lose your navigation just like I did here on the screen. So when we do that, we have to change to live view to actually see our menu. Okay, so you'll have to toggle most likely back and forth between live view and design view to work with your navigation. Okay, we are going to now copy the ULLI selector to our tablet section. So let me come back over to the book and let's get to that page here. Okay, so where I'm at right here is in number 6. Select the sustyles.css file, okay, and we're going to copy it, and we're going to come into the tablet section, and I'll show you exactly where I want you to copy it. I'm actually not going to have you copy it into desktop, and so I'll explain why. So SU Styles, I'm going to go ahead and close these. So find the ULLIA. You can do a Control F as well. Okay, so here's the ULLIA. We're going to copy from so that we get both braces. And then we're going to come down and go to the end of the tablet section. So you want to make sure that you do not get rid of this curly brace at the end. So this is the curly brace that closes off image float right. we're going to paste it right in here. If you lose this one, you're going to lose your media query for tablet. So I'm going to go ahead and paste. And then all we want to adjust is the padding. So we want to give more padding for tablet and desktop. So I'm going to remove these two because I don't need them repeated because they're inherited from the global section. And this is going to be inherited to desktop. That's why I'm not going to have you copy it to the desktop as well. Now, if you wanted to adjust the numbers, if you wanted only, say, 3% here for tablet and you wanted 5% for desktop, that would be a valid reason for copied into both. Okay, we're going to add one more global selector before we have our menu bar complete, and then we're going to copy and paste it to other pages in the site. So we're going to add the hover state for the hyperlink. So ULLIA:hover, and then we're going to grab a color. So back to my CSS Designers panel, SU Styles, Global, New, ULLIA:hover. And then come into our background. Use the eyedropper to grab a brown, or this one from the starfish. Hit enter. Okay. Now when I hover over, see if I can get live view to work for me. Now when I hover over, I get that background color that I just chose. Okay, and again, it's set at global level, so no need to worry about tablet and so on. Actually, whoop, I didn't mean to do that. I was just kind of trying to tidy up the space there. Okay, so now we're going to copy our navigation from one page to the next. So we're going to use our source code, and we're going to copy nav to nav. So if we copy that, and it says to go to activities. So now we're in active. Well, we need to go to activities. So we go to code view here, and then we need to find out, well, where is it relative to? Okay, so here's header, and then div class fluid intro paragraph. So that's where I need to be looking. So where is my div class fluid intro paragraph? Well, right there. Okay, well, we'll have an existing nav already on this page, right? Because we did that earlier in an earlier chapter. So of course we don't want both, so you're going to go to nav. You can paste right over top of it, or you can delete and paste. Okay, so now when I look at design view, of course I don't see it. I need to go to live view. I see my navigation. Okay, so other pages that we need to do are index and about. So index, the same thing, code, find that intro, and actually find just nav to nav and paste over top of it. And if it doesn't format right, typically, yeah, you can just tab in, make these look nice. Okay. Dreamweaver sometimes can be a pain when it comes to indenting. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to use this button here to bring it in. I like my code to be formatted nicely. And then the last one, I think, was About Us. And this one doesn't have an existing one, so here's that fluid intro paragraph. So based on what is over here, okay, so we want to come before the heading. So the heading is welcome guests. So I'm going to enter that down, and then I'm going to paste right before it. Okay, so when I look at live view, this is what I see. Okay, I'm going to do a save all. Okay, and I'll take this and open it up in the browser to test. We've got our hover states. We'll click on home. We've got our menu. We've got About Us, and we've got spa and activities. I don't think we have, yep, we don't have a cafe page yet. Okay. That is your lesson 3. Let me know if you have any difficulties with this menu. We can connect live, and especially when you're applying it to Bloom's, TripSmart, and Coffee Shop, please let me know if you have any difficulties. Thank you.